What is going on, guys? It's John here for you out on this really chilly morning, and what we're doing is warming the tractor up, and just got the bucket taken off of this thing, and see how many hours we got on it. Had 181 hours on it. I believe there was about 118 or 120 on this thing when I did the last service. It's been over a year because I did it around Thanksgiving of 2016 when the last service was. So what I'm doing is I'm warming this thing up to change the oil and filter, and also put a new fuel filter on this thing. Show you guys right here. I put some fluid in the front end because I had to check that, and I ended up breaking the dipstick because whoever put it in last put it in too tight. So we bought a new dipstick for it, and then I bought a new oil filter and spin-on fuel filter. I figured this thing has had enough fuel through it that it's a good idea to change that. So anyway, guys, that's what I am doing. We'll go ahead and get this tractor backed in here, and I know I technically should have the loader off of this thing. I got this real long 6x6 right here. I'm probably going to put that under the loader and just lift it up and support it with that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and back this tractor in, and we'll go ahead and start working. Okay, guys, so just to clarify exactly what you're looking at here, this hose that I'm taking off the fuel filter housing, it's a return hose or something like that, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I did this work on the tractor. Anyway, so you saw me flip that valve on the water separator in the screen, and that's the fuel shutoff from the tank. My theory here, which I thought worked last time, but this is only the second fuel filter I've put on this thing. My theory here was I turn the shutoff valve off, remove the hose, and that would drain the filter out. That was not the case. The other thing is I was pretty certain that I hand tightened that filter when I put it on, but it was rock freaking solid. Keeping the loader on was also not a good idea. I should have taken that off. It would give me a lot more access. You can see me fighting it, and I fight it so much off camera, and I end up doing that part of the maintenance off camera. So you can yell at me if you want, but that's kind of what you're looking at. Just kind of rookie error basically is what it was. But I did end up changing the fuel filter out, so everything was good. It was very frustrating. So just giving you guys some background information. So enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, guys, draining out the engine oil now. All this is diesel from this stupid fuel filter that it seemed like it was cemented on there with Gorilla Glue. I can only yell at myself for that. So we're finishing draining the oil now. I'll go ahead and get this filter off of here, set you guys back up, and let you watch. Alright, guys, so I got the oil in. This tractor takes 5 quarts, I think, a little less than 5 quarts. And I put 4 in. However, my oil filter is not filled yet. So I need to run the engine for a little bit to pump some oil down into there. I also need to run the engine and prime the fuel pump so I can get that fuel filter nice and full of fuel. Now what you guys are looking at, let me see if I can angle you up here a little bit. This fuel filter right here, there's a petcock little fuel shut off right here on this water separator. And that doesn't need to be cleaned. I looked inside, it looks fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's just a screen in there anyway. But that spin-on filter, it's always got fuel running out of it. The entire time that I was working on it, there was fuel running out of it. And it's running down the side of the engine, and it's running down into things, and it's all over the floor, and not a very good idea. And I guess when I put it on there, I put it on too tight. That was the gorilla that put it on last. And I don't know, guys. It was a bear to get off because I don't really have a good filter wrench for it. It's probably something I'm gonna want to get. But I did finally get it off, and it was still running fuel out of that area. But I primed it, or not primed it. I coated the gasket and some diesel, and seems good to go. So that's that. That was just my little struggle. You guys didn't see that. It's probably a good thing you didn't see that. To be honest, it was not a very pretty sight. Some of the servicing is not the best with filters and stuff. They do kind of get tighter over time. Or if you're an idiot like I was, I guess, and when you put it on and you put it on too tight, then it's going to be hard to get off later. So yeah. Anyway, that's done. I had to use the old screwdriver trick. One thing I will recommend is this loader right here. This loader, take it off. Don't be lazy like me and don't take it off. I should have just removed it. It would have made life so much easier because this thing is really getting in the way. So, hindsight's 20/20, but I really should have taken this loader off of this tractor before I did all this. And let's see. You guys can see it, hopefully. We are right there on the dipstick, so that's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and crack this door open over here so that I don't suffocate or asphyxiate myself. We'll go ahead and start this tractor up. You'll hear the difference in the fuel pump within a second. You hear how loud the fuel pump is. It is currently priming. Gotta put my dipstick back in. And you guys heard the fuel pump get quiet there. Might take a few more cranks than usual to get this thing to fire. But let's just check here. Let that pump run for a while. That's wiped. I don't see any leaks there. And I don't see anything coming out of the filters. That's good. Alright. Here we go. Alright, so I think we're good around here. I don't see any leaks coming off the filter for the fuel. And my oil filter's good. Both those are just hand tight, nothing super tight. And my drain bolt, no leaks down there, so that's good. So let's see. It's currently 12:30. I gotta go meet my girlfriend for lunch, actually. So what I'm probably gonna end up doing, guys, I'm gonna go to lunch and come back and I'll let this settle. It'll be good for it to settle, and then I'll go ahead and come back and top off the oil once that's done. So not a super long video today. I did grease the loader. You see the grease is pretty blue. I greased it probably about 5 or 10 hours ago, if that. So that the loader's good to go. We checked tire pressures, they're all good to go. So it was literally just an oil and fuel filter change today. If you have any questions about the 3520 or want me to do any other filming, please let me know, and I'll do the best I can to accommodate that. Alright guys, so not going to leave you hanging. I'm topping off the oil now. It's been sitting for a while. But what I am going to do is, you guys can see this little piece on this, well, now it just came off. A little piece on that dipstick just came off. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that with this guy. So go ahead and pick this up, throw that away. But yeah, guys, it's tractor turned out pretty good. This filter was quite difficult to get off, but that worked out okay. So let's go ahead and set you up. Actually, I'm not going to set you up. All I have to do is I'm going to get a pair of channel locks and go ahead and get that one off, and we'll check the axle fluid while we're at it. Finishing topping off the oil here. Something else I had to do is that while I was at school, my dad was using the tractor and the battery died, so he had to put a battery in this thing. And he replaced the hardware. You guys can see that the way the hardware there is mounted. And he had to put a spacer down there between the bracket, and the tractor's really dirty, but between the bracket and the battery where it's holding on there, and the frame of the tractor, just so that the bracket would be able to hold that battery on, because it's a little bit taller battery that was put in here. So the original hardware, this is the original hardware right here for the tractor, and you can see how it wasn't grounding out into the nylon on the nylon lock nut. So I had to put some, he was going to do it, but I figured I was already here, so I might as well do it for him. I went ahead and put the new hardware in there with some washers, and it grounds out really nice on the in the nylon on the new lock nut. So that works good. So I had to do that. While I was doing that, I was continuously checking and topping off the engine oil. It's not really something super interesting, I know, but figured I'd go ahead and do that. Go ahead and check it the last time here. You guys can see the dipstick. It's nice and clean. Stick her down in here. And we're looking pretty good, guys. We're just a tiniest little bit down, but I'm really not concerned about that. This thing probably will end up having to settle a little bit more once it completely fills the oil filter. I've got a little bit left in this jug, so I'll leave it here. But that is good to go. So the tractor now has 181.4 hours. Hopefully you guys can read that upside down. But that's what's on this thing, and today is the 26th of December. So this thing is all topped off for another year. Go ahead and open the door up here, and I'll get my stand out from under the loader. And what I'm going to go do now, guys, is I'm going to pull this tractor out, and then I'm going to pull that zero turn out, and I'm going to go and chop up some leaves. If you want to see some zero turn mowing, definitely go check out some of those other videos I have on my channel. I have got them available for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up. I think the keys are still in it. Alright, we'll check for leaks, which I don't think there's any because I put everything back in. There wasn't any leaks last time, so that looks good. So let's go ahead and get these lights off of here, then I'll pull it out and check in with you guys. Alright guys, letting it up to operating temperature, but she is all serviced up. Could probably use a little bit of a wash, but it's not that critical. Nothing is too bad right now. Yeah. So she is all serviced up, ready to go, ready to see some snow if we do get any. Last year this thing moved no snow at all, and that was the first winter we had it, so maybe we'll be able to move some snow with it this year. So This big patch right here was diesel, and I ended up cleaning it up. If you guys didn't know, you can use carbon choke cleaner or brake clean or whatever. And like on this patch of oil and fuel right here, that's just water. But on this patch, you see I'll spray some of this on here, right? I'm gonna come over here and get a rag. And because this is a solvent and it's used to break down oil, this will break down any oils that were there and then evaporate and leave a little bit of a stain, but it will at least dry everything up and not have diesel or oil or whatever spilt on the pavement. So, tech tip of the day: you can use a solvent like this to clean up oil spills or diesel fuel spills. Works pretty well. So, anyway, guys, that's me signing off. I really am leaving this time. I guarantee it. So, 3520 is good to go. Now it's time to pull out this guy and do some leaf cleanup. So I'm gonna go enjoy that, and you guys enjoy your day. See you later.